Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is TJ.
Hello.
We march on for the last time with our fourth annual 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. Today marks day 31, the final day. And our movie for tonight was Tag. So, before we get into it, I want to let the audience know that every year I finish on an Asian horror movie. It's just kind of a tradition for me. And I think this might be the first year you joined me.
Yes.
Because this is our first year doing the podcast. So just because usually you have something going on Halloween, and I don't. So we usually just do separate movies. But this year we were able to make it so that we could watch the same one together. I had this movie picked out weeks in advance. I knew for sure I was ending on Tag. Tag is directed by Sion Sono. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, sir. He is the infamous director who's also done Suicide Club and Noriko's Dinner Table, both of which are excellent. And it was written by Yusuke Yamada. I don't recognize anything else he's done, but based on his other work, he writes very odd things. That being said, Tag was in what could only be described as surrealist splatter horror. It was easily one of the strangest movies I've ever seen.
Agreed.
It combined like Vanilla Sky with The World's End, with maybe it wasn't like a literal translation, but like it had kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of like trying to figure out how to get out of this strange place feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much a splatter film with very huge philosophical overtones. So it wasn't just gory for the sake of being gory, but there were two moments in the film that I said, "What the fuck?" out loud. I did not see it coming. So I don't know how to do this one. It's hard to explain if you don't know exactly what you saw.
Yeah.
So I'll ask, did you enjoy it?
I don't know yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, I'm still processing it.
Yeah. I'm glad I finished it a little earlier.
I know I didn't understand a lot of it. It was just weird.
So I'll do my best to give as much of a linear... If you have not seen Tag yet, stop listening right now. If you have seen Tag, keep listening. It starts off with these schoolgirls on school buses. There's two different school buses. And they're traveling...
It was a field trip.
Okay, thank you. So they were on a field trip. The main character, quote-unquote, is Mitsuko. So they start having a pillow fight for no reason. Well, we think for no reason, but it comes back full circle towards the end.
With remarkably fragile pillows.
Yes, that just explode into feathers. But the feathers are a recurring theme throughout the entire movie. Mitsuko is writing a poem in her little book. And the girls make fun of her. She drops her pencil, her pen or whatever. And she bends down to get it. She goes in the aisle to get it. And then we go to the shot of the teacher and the driver looking at the bus in front of them. And the bus in front of them literally gets cut in half. Horizontally. So the top of the bus flies off. The top half of the girls flies away. Then we get like scary reaction shots. And then the next bus gets chopped in half. Horizontally. And Mitsuko, who was bent down getting her pen, survived because she wasn't, upright.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the first what the fuck moment, because I didn't see that coming. And I literally said, "What the fuck?" out loud. I wish I'd done one of those like reaction shots that people do.
Mm-hmm.
I should have done that for this movie had I known. Also, Netflix, can you stop spoiling fucking things in your synopsis?
Yep, I noticed that too.
I didn't know what to expect. I need to stop reading them. I just need to stop. It's my fault again for reading it. I would not have been expecting a bus crash, and that would have shocked me even more. After that, and I'm going to say this, there was a holy shit moment, but that was like some ghost ship levels of like memorable. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you hadn't said it, I was gonna bring up Ghost Ship. That I've not seen an intro like that since Ghost Ship.
I mean, I thought the intro to Suicide Club was intense. Holy crap! Wow, like this just eclipses that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm glad that you noticed it too. Like, I will not forget this scene. And Ghost Ship came out like what, in the 2000s? And we're still talking about it. So basically, Mitsuko wanders around while avoiding Killer Wind, which I kind of made a joke about the happening. Like, this is what the happening should have been. Like, just...
Yes.
And she's encountered people, and people are just getting sliced in half by the wind. It might sound corny, but I thought it was actually pretty well done. And she's running away. She's running away from the wind. So Mitsuko's wandering around. She goes through the woods. She encounters her classmates, who all are okay. And then we meet Aki.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of insinuation that they're a couple. So they ditch class and go to the lake. Then we get a scene. I'm just gonna go through this because it just I'm trying to give it like it just. We go to a scene of an alligator biting the hell out of one girl's vagina.
Mm-hmm.
We get what I think is the groundwork for what the film is about from that speech from Sir.
Yes.
And then they go back to class. I wrote in my notes, okay, can something happen soon at this point?
Mm-hmm.
And then, not even 2 minutes later, what the fuck? Mitsuko is back in class. She sees a pillow on the ground. She picks up the pillow, and Aki says, throw it to me. She does, and when she does, the class gets annihilated with machine gun fire. Like, holy shit.
Aki dies.
The entire class is like... And it's the teachers. The teachers, they're like, I'll teach you to skip class. And they're just gunning people down with these machine guns. Like, the one had, like, one of those, like, Gatling, like, guns.
Yep.
It was a really fucking awesome scene. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The holy shit scenes were so well done. During this segment, the music was very reminiscent of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wind returns to slice people in half. And then she runs into town to try and find help. She goes to a police station, and then all of a sudden she's not Mitsuko anymore. She's Kiko.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks in the mirror, and she looks completely different. It's a different actress, but the same story arc. And Kiko is getting married. So she's taken off to get ready to be married, and Aki is there. And apparently Aki knows what's going on. And Aki also knows that she's both Mitsuko and Kiko.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point we're like, okay, what? But I'm still into it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Then Aki starts just murdering people in graphic ways.
Very graphic.
And then this is what I wrote. This is the World's End level of what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene in World's End where it just kind of 180s itself. This didn't 180 itself here, but it was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are you attacking random people? Aki gives now Kiko a broken bottle to use as a weapon. And in one of my favorite shots, the bride is walking down the aisle carrying the broken glass bottle instead of a bouquet.
Yeah. Holding it like a bouquet.
Exactly. And it was so cool looking. Nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the church. There's a very aggressive wedding party that starts taking off their clothes for some reason. At the end of the aisle, at the altar, there's the groom that we presume is in a coffin. Kiko gets down there. It's a guy in a pig's head. And then Kiko starts killing people. And then I think the teachers from earlier show back up.
Yep. Wearing, like, Matrix-like outfits.
Yeah, very, like, assassin-esque, black, leathery, badass outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts running away. And then she's now Izumi. She switches again. And it switches actresses for the third time. And Izumi is like a runner. What looks like to be in a marathon. And she starts having Izumi's memories. Which I thought was kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
Aki shows back up. And so are the other girls from the beginning. Then they're running down the marathon like, you can do it, you can win. Everyone in the crowd's like, Izumi, Izumi. Apparently she's famous or something. We kind of find out later why. In the back of the marathon or whatever, the pighead guy comes back. And so do the badass ladies in black. I think Aki told her to run, like, off, like, jump over the fence and run.
Yeah, kind of off the course.
Yeah, I think it was Aki that told her that. So she runs off. And we see like a feather drop because it's symbolism. And then she is in a cave full of like what we presume to be dead girls. And then we find out one girl says to her, "Can you die, please? Because if you're alive, we all die." She says, "We die because of you." And she half-heartedly tries to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Aki saves her. And then Aki makes her say over and over, "I'm Mitsuko," over and over. And then she eventually turns back into Mitsuko. Aki tells Mitsuko, "Pull these wires out of my wrists and destroy me." And there's like weird red and blue cables sticking out of her wrists. We find out from Aki that Mitsuko is the main character, so everyone's coming after her, and tells Mitsuko to pull the cable so that she can exit out of this world. She eventually does in a very graphic scene.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls the cords and goes through this white light door. She walks through the door into a kitchen, and this is the first time I think we've seen so far men, because it's the man world. Finally, the fucking man world.
Mm-hmm.
But she walks out of the kitchen into an alley, and there's nothing but dudes. And we see a poster of her and the different identities on a wall. And it says on the poster, "The legendary game is back. Tag now in 3D." So I'm like, huh, okay. A handsome guy comes up to her and says, "I'm glad you remember me. Don't you remember my name? I never thought you'd come this far. You are actually in the future." And then she faints. Then she wakes up in a cave, under a building or something. And then she walks through a temple-looking place with like different girls standing in the walls and like recesses in the walls. And props to the girls for standing perfectly fucking still.
Yep.
I only saw one person move, and that was in the glass case, but even then, holy crap. She comes up on some dude playing a game on the TV of her. What we'd seen her already go through. This dude with like long white hair, looks like he's like 250 years old. He tells her that you died a long time ago in the spring of 2034. He got her and her friend's DNA, and her DNA is used for their entertainment. And then she sees her and Aki and then her different versions of herself in this glass case. And then the handsome dude walks back in from earlier, and it's like the main character is here, takes his clothes off, invites Mitsuko to bed. The long white-haired dude, rather, says, "My dream from 50 years ago is being imagined." We flash back to Suer, who jumps in the lake. We see a bloody feather. Come back to Mitsuko. She attacks the guy, beats him apparently to death with a pillow because the feathers turn red. Then she gets off the bed and kills herself, and there's more red feathers. And then, in very quick succession, we have a flashback to the beginning, then the wedding, then the bus again, then the wedding. She's getting closer to the altar, the bus again. Mitsuko picks up the pen, stabs herself at the same time. The bride stabs herself with the bottle. Izumi is also dead somehow. All the other characters die. There's a shot of Mitsuko in the snow laying. She gets up and says it's over now and runs off at the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
I spent like, yes, that is literally the plot of Tag.
Yeah.
This is another one I was watching. I was like, oh god, TJ's not gonna like this. I did. It was batshit crazy enough for me to enjoy it. And the splatter stuff was done out of nowhere. It legitimately shocked me.
Yeah, I liked all those.
I liked it because this isn't a movie we would ever see from Hollywood.
No.
Like, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, everything I just read out loud in synopsis for the audience. Can you imagine pitching that? Like,
Yeah.
like, okay, no, listen, no. And then we're going to have, like, girls in, like, short skirts and panties, and then the bus is going to get cut in half, and they're going to get cut in half, and the wind's going to be evil, and it's going to chase them, and then she turns into 3 different people, but it's all the same person, and they're in a video game, and then she dies at the end, but she doesn't. Tag. You're it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have watched the movies that has left TJ speechless.
Mm-hmm.
He has no input.
It just seemed like a mixture of like so many movies. Like for me, it was The Matrix at parts, Donnie Darko at parts.
Okay.
And with that, I'm meaning like her deciding to kill herself to
right.
which was being spontaneous, as Sir had told her.
Yep.
And it also goes back to that hallway of dead girls that if she dies, they live. So I'm assuming that because she killed herself before all the shit hit the fan, that the game wasn't able to start.
Yeah, that's what I also assumed. The game was now over.
Yes.
Because the actual main character is dead.
Yes.
And then all the other subsequent characters are also dead.
So
they're kind of trapped in like this video game world. Where I assume they just die over and over because of the nature of a video game. But she has to die for them to finally be free.
Yeah.
Is what I understood it to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was neat.
Neat would be a very good way of describing it.
I'm very happy with this being the final movie for this month. It was a very interesting way to go out. So I would recommend it if you like Asian horror, if you like Sono's other work. It's really unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's definitely unique. Unique enough to make me say that other people should check it out.
It was neat.
It was indeed neat. All right. Is there anything else you want to add about Tag?
No.
We may have to come back and revisit this one in the future when TJ has some thoughts that he wants to share. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you all for listening. If you have listened to all 31 podcasts from this month, thank you very much. If you have seen Tag, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. What do you think it's about? How did you interpret it? What was your favorite scene? Did the scenes make you say what the fuck out loud like it did me? Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And this is where I would say tune in tomorrow, but there is no tomorrow, because this is the last podcast of this annual 31 Days of Horror. So I will say, stay tuned for our top 5 and bottom 5 videos, where we each rate our 5 favorite and 5 least favorite movies from this year's horror marathon. And what's cool about that is neither of us are telling each other what we're picking, so it's going to be new to us as we say it. And during various times in the month, we watch different things, so our list could be vastly different. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to do that here very soon. In the meantime, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we will talk to you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.